Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So, tonight's statement is Michael and Willow need to get back together. Okay? Michael and Willow need to get back together. Okay? They just have to. Okay? Um, as annoying Ivory always sits there and says, it's proper. Okay? It's very, very proper. They need to get back together. That just for the kids, for the kids, family union, all that good stuff. They need to get back together. Now let's sit there and do roll call. Get this started. Black Mars in the chat. How you doing tonight? AK Mr. GQ. Amy's in the chat. How you doing tonight? How you doing? How you doing tonight? Allison's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Susan R. It's good to see you. How you doing tonight? Sean is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Queen of the South is in the chat. How you doing tonight? And yes, Michael and Willow, they need to get back together. They need to stop with this fighting and this back and forth crap. They just need to sit there, come together, because ultimately they love each other, and that's just how it is. What's good, Double C? Oh, it was good, Sean. I was actually off today, so it was a good day. Good to see you. I'm good, Black Man. I'm good. I'm good, Susan. It's good to see you. I feel like it's been forever. Was you here on Sunday? I don't remember if you were here on Sunday. Yeah, Sean. Listen, having a day off is. Uh, Monique is in the chat. You know, I gotta see the second. I gotta see the second trailer for that. I gotta see the second trailer for Street Fighter. Double C said, "No, this is not an April Fool's joke. This is serious." Okay, I was wondering. I was like, I could have swore like. I mean, I was drinking, but I do remember people. So I was like. This wasn't there. Okay. Well, honestly, tell you the truth, Susan, I hope you can sit there and make it this weekend. Um, especially Sunday. We've been doing what's good, Jarence? Doesn't Michael just doesn't Michael deserve better than a crazy will be keeping someone hostage in his mind? Don't get me wrong, I love Crazy Dark Willow, but no man deserves that. What's good, Darby? But yeah, I was like, yeah. So yeah, we've been doing a whole Blackie Parish thing. So plus, it's always good to sit and have you in the chat anyway, Susan. So but yeah, what's good, Janice? But no, Michael and Willow, they need to get back together. Okay? There's what's good, Latasha? How are you doing? How you doing tonight? No, Michael and Willow, they need to get back together. Yeah. I think it's best for everyone. I think it's best for Michael and Willow. They still love each other. They can make it work. They can make it work for the kids. Yes, no, there is a future for Michael and Willow, and I'm behind it 100%, 150%. I'm behind it. What's good, Freddie? But no, I think it's best. I think it's best. Yeah, I was like Susan wasn't there this weekend. Oh, okay. No, I think it's best. I think it's best that Michael and Willow. They both made mistakes. They both cheated. Okay. I listen. I love the fact that Willow is what's good, Ron. There we go, right there. Sean says, well, Rory says it's always possible that there is love there between Willow and Mike. Exactly, exactly. There's love there between Michael and Willow, as Rory said. Yeah. What's good, Ron? I don't think it was cruel, Ron. I mean, that is his house, and I'm pretty sure he didn't actually like her there anyway. Probably would have a fit. Oh well, then I'll definitely love it even more. Like I would definitely love it even more. Some blame Brit for Rocco's issue. It's not Brit's fault. Brit made any contact. Rocco is Rocco that's always pursuing her. I think it's a bit of both. But at the end of the day, he didn't his thing. He didn't tell. He did not sit there. He did not. He no. She did not sit there and tell him to follow her to the piers. That's on her. And Lulu's bitching session that she did for 20 something fucking minutes. Yeah, that was unnecessary. That was absolutely unnecessary. But Lulu was just being her usual annoying ass self. So, Albert, what are you saying? If Michael ever got back with her, you have to keep one eye. No, 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 no. Listen, all that is just Lord. What? How you doing, Pan? 1 second, Ron. And what's good, Crystal? No, that's not. Listen, Darby. Listen, there is love underneath all that hate and animosity. Okay, I think once they listen, they both made mistakes. Michael has cheated on Willow as well. Okay, Willow's cheated and that was wrong. Michael cheated, that was wrong. But listen, they can find. Listen, life is too short. They can always find their way back together. Okay, I'm a true believer in true love. So. Moran says, Albert, are you disappointed with Kate lying to Roman? And no, I'm not disappointed. I mean, that's I expected her to do that. Double C said, did I miss anything on GH besides Lulu being Lulu? No, you didn't. You absolutely did not. Double C. No, Ron, I'm not disappointed. Like that's what Kate is going to do. Kate's going to lie to save her ass, and protect the family company. So no, no, Darby. I listen. I'm just a believer in true love. That's all. I'm a total believer in love and stuff like that. And I believe they're gonna work out their problems, and it's gonna be the best thing for them. But no, obviously you didn't miss a damn thing. Monet says I will be suspicious of Ethan too. If I was Rick, haven't seen you in decades, then you come asking for a job. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're 100% correct, Monique. 100%. That's what I was like. I mean, listen, yeah, it was laughable for Rick to be Smith there trying to be calling somebody sus with his resume, but like you pointed out, I do, I do, Allison. Like I said, I'm a huge believer in true love. Um, even though that they hate each other, it's two sides of the same coin. So it's they got kids together. They're gonna see each other. They're in the same town. It is totally possible. Do you think Curtis went too far with Isaiah? Yeah, I'm not. Uh, I still got to read about that, Ron. I still got to read about that. I don't really know. I don't know enough about the case to really give my thoughts on it. Do you think Curtis went too far with Isaiah after checking out with Jordan? I get Curtis just looking out for his woman, but what's your take on it? I understand him being upset. But to be fair, 1 second, Darby. To be fair, Curtis, as angry as he is, Isaiah should sit there and respect that and back off and take a step back. You know, that's just you know what I'm saying. Like that's his girlfriend. Respect boundaries. You know, Hemsmith is saying, well, I don't think that Jordan will be okay with um I don't think Jordan be okay with you dictating who her friends are. I'm like, that may be so, but that's their relationship. He's asking you to sit there and take a step back and just kind of back off right now. And I think he needs to do that. You know, your presence obviously is not making her situation any better. And if the dude asks you to sit there and take a step back, as much of an asshole he was being, he kind of needs to he needs to respect that. What is what is Ethan up to wanting to work for Sunny? That is the mystery. And what's good, Francis? No, Darby. Listen, Darby. Bro, you know, always that they're talking about love, and I'm a very lovey-dovey kind of person. Like, what is he talking about? Darby, are you trolling me? I think DC has been a bad influence on you, man. I'm gonna have to talk to DC. Phyllis can't be surprised Victor is using her game against her. Here's my whole thing, Monique. Listen, I may not like Victor that much at times, but at the end of the day, Phyllis, you took somebody else's company and you did it in a very illegal way. You're sitting there walking up to Victoria, talking about, oh, I beat him at his own game, and you know he's not gonna do this, and she's sitting there being all like mad and upset. I was like, girl, you took somebody's company that he built from the ground up. Yes, the dude is an asshole. Okay, we all get that, but what you did was illegal. Let's not sit there and try to act like you're not the fucking villain in the situation. That's my whole other thing. I'm like, you know, at the end of the day, you're fucking wrong. Yes, we all want to sit there and see Victor get his comeuppance and everything like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit there and try to pretend like, yeah, go Phyllis, you get him. Like, girl, you stole a fucking company illegally. Like, what are we doing at this point? One second, Ron. I recognize what's going behind you, but I don't recognize this rather talking this sentimental garbage I'm hearing. Darby, listen, there are many sides to me. Okay? I could be an asshole. I could be a prick. I could be very unforgiving. You know, human beings are they're very complicated people. You know, I have so I guess it just comes down to I have a lot of different layers. That's all. And one of those layers, besides me being an asshole and pissing people off just because, well, I find it very fun to do, I'm also a huge believer in love. Listen, I could be a huge believer in love and still be an asshole too. I'm very good at multitasking. What does Phoenix Main mean by he can't do all the videos at the same time he does them separately? Ron, I explained that to you last time. You asked me that question. I literally explained that to you last time. I'll explain it again, but give me a second. I want Phyllis to go down. How she did it was just wrong. I mean, yes. I guess my whole thing is like, listen, Victor is an asshole. Okay, he does things. He's always been an asshole. As long as I've been watching the show, he has been an asshole. So I'm not. I understand why people want Phyllis to sit there and win, and I understand. You know, listen, I'm here for the ride as far as like Phyllis giving it to Victor. You know, really, you know, punishing him and calling him out and calling out the whole family. But you know, I guess for me at the same time, what's good, Kristen? But at the same time, I'm like, girl, you stole a company and it was illegal. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this guy literally built that company from the ground up, and you're getting upset that he wants to sit there and try to take it back? Like, are you kidding me? Well, see, that's the thing, Darby. I mean, listen, I don't do it all the time, okay? And trust me, Darby, I don't make it a habit of talking about love and the excitement of it, and what true love means, and all that feel good stuff. Doesn't mean I'm not a believer of it. Like I said, just going back to the main point, Michael and Willow, they belong together. They belong together. They need to be back together. Thank you, Freddie. Yes, hit that like button because it really does actually happen. It does happen. I mean, it does actually help. It does actually help. Seriously. Ron, doing a video on all the soap operas is a lot. Okay, it's a lot. So it makes sense for him to sit there and do them separately. Number one reason is because not everyone will like a video if it's not something for them specifically. So if I'm just a James fan and he's talking about all these other soaps and I don't care about all these other soaps, I'm not gonna watch this video, right? Or I'll skip until when he goes to GH. So it just makes sense for him to cater towards each person than just to try to do it in one big ball. Plus, it's a lot of energy to try to be doing all that. So those are the two reasons why, Ron. Thank you, Francis. And what's good, Jonathan? Thank you, Francis. 28 people in the chat and only 8 likes. Oh my God, what am I doing wrong? Okay, let's see. Okay. I don't know, Ron, about that. I don't get a chance to really watch his videos, Ron, so I don't know. No, Darby, there's no twin. Jonathan, we're gonna get to that first. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna go there. Um, but we need to talk about another problem before we even get to that, because that's been an ongoing problem. We need to talk about the elephant in the room. You know what that elephant in the room is, though? It's on days, by the way. It's days related. But before we get to that, what we got to talk about first, right? And it's again, it's days related. So I'll give you that hint first. Yeah, hit the like button. Thank you, Francis. Francis, you are awesome, and I appreciate you. Okay, I'm gonna give you one chance for you to sit there. Lulu. Okay, let's go. Awesome. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. I also appreciate you being here. Seriously. Monique says Victor isn't stupid when he told Michael what he was planning. He knew he was going to tell Lauren, and Lauren was going to tell Phyllis. Yes, because that's the thing. Victor is the chess master. Listen, I mean, I always liked Victor, but the dude didn't get to where he was by being stupid. Freddie, I really do want Michael and Willow to get back together. Um, I want them to get back together. I think it's just the right thing to do. I'm gonna tell you after I read Francis' comment. Francis says, "Are you going to go see Michael? Are you going to go see Michael? It really looks like Jafar Jackson did a really good job from the." Oh no. There's only one Michael. I'm good. I'm good. There's only one Michael. I don't need to. Nope. 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 That's what they were talking about. I'm not gonna lie, with the whole Emma and Gio thing, that's what they were talking about. Okay, so we got to talk about Hannah Floyd being Chad. Okay? Now, I want to know what your take is on Hannah Floyd being Chad, and I'll tell you my whole thing. Yes. So what do you think? And I give you my whole thing, but I don't want to dilute your answer. Yeah, I was like, no, I'm good. I was, plus, I don't really go see musicals. You know, listen, their scenes are as far removed from General Hospital and as Cody and Molly. Hmm, it's probably something else I wouldn't want to see. It's different, but I'm fine with him as Chad. See, here's my issue, and this is a couple of things. I get to people's questions or comments or whatever in a second after I say what I have to say. For me, Chad doesn't have any sort of personality qualities that stand out. Like EJ could be very 1 second, Francis. EJ could be very arrogant and mean and a bully and this and that and the third. Gwen can be a mean girl at times, but she can also be vulnerable. Chad, I feel like, is just played by Billy. So it's like whatever Billy Flynn was feeling at the time, or how they told him to go, he's going to do it the very Billy way. So he doesn't really have anything that like stands out that I could be like, oh my god, he's so cool, he's so awesome. It's like he's there, you know. So when Connor comes on, it's like Chance in a sense. Like Chance to me never seemed like he had any sort of personality things that made him stood out. So he just played it like his own personality in a sense. So when I see him on days, this is why I'm looking at him and I'm just like, um, Ron, if you can see your comment, you don't need me to ask Jonathan a question. You can see it just like I can. So just ask him. Um, so it's not so much like I'm not feeling him or anything like that. I think I like Chad more or was cool with Chad because the way that Billy played him, and now I'm just like, I just see Chance. Do you think Ezra is playing Laura, or is he really going to help her take Sitwell down? I think he was actually being sincere. Now, whether he flips on her later on, that's going to depend. But like at first glance of just seeing that of him there saying he helps, no, it generally seems sincere. Um, I think the thing about Ezra is that he's a sleazeball, and he's used to people looking at him like that and only looking at him like that. He's not used to people being compassionate about him, being nice to him, or anything like that. Um, he was an annoying brat when he left, and he's an annoying brat that he came back. Honestly, to tell you the truth, that's literally what it comes down to. Um, there's more, and I can't sit there and think of it right now. But yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not even. Here's the thing. I'm not sitting there saying like me. I'm not saying that like, oh, he's bad or he's terrible or anything like that. I'm just like he's playing Connor Floyd. He's playing Connor Floyd, and I recognize Connor Floyd from Chance. And again, that's not a bad thing. That's just that they're saying like I don't see a difference. Um, I did think it was kind of dickish for him to sit there and bring up the whole Abigail thing. You know, the whole Abigail thing, like, oh well, you've been obsessed with her and you haven't. I'm like, bro, listen, y'all talked about that. That seemed like that was a buried subject. Why are you bringing that back up for? You know, I kind of was just like, okay, bro, this is you doing a little bit too much. Yeah, yeah, that's right, Freddie. That's right. I'm just saying in general, um, that's Freddie. That's why I took him at his word when he said he was gonna help. Because you've seen how this guy is, how he walks around, how he talks and stuff like that. There's a lot of arrogance in him. There's a lot of just him being just a pompous asshole and everything, and kind of a sleazeball in a sense. So he's not used to somebody actually caring about him. You Jonathan, let me ask you a question. Are you looking forward to Sophia being on General Hospital? He's just hired a new actor on the show. Maybe he can give Emma and Gio some drama. They are again. They are far removed. That is now. Krista says that reminds me of Roger Howard. He played every role like Todd. Exactly. He played every role like Todd because that was his acting style. Yes, yes, Sophia. So that's what I was saying. Are you looking forward to her being on Days? But yes, one second, Darby. That's exactly, Chris. That's how Connor is up there playing. Um, oh, okay, that's cool. That's how Connor's up there playing Chad, like he played Chance on Young and the Restless. I don't see a difference. Okay, that's cool. I don't know. I guess I just I'm not sitting there trying to be a Debbie Downer. I'm not really feeling it. You know, like I guess it's one of those things, Jonathan. Like if it happened, like I'll s- I'll base my decision on when they show it. You know, I feel like that's kind of just the best way that I'm going to sit there and play it. You know, inform Chad to tell his kids to stay in a child's place and make his former Jennifer mind her mother-in-law mind her own damn business. Um, one second, Jonathan. Here's the thing. I'm just not just saying that Thomas is being a brat, but it's worse than being a brat. It's literally worse than being a brat because for him to sit there and step up to an adult and start mouthing off like that, and Castle like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." I'm kind of just like, no, this is the problem. Like, I'm not sitting there saying that Cat needs to sit there and curse his ass out, but Cat needs to sit there and put his ass in his own goddamn, put his ass in his own, put his ass in his place. That is no goddamn way to sit there and talk like, yo, listen, you better check your damn child. Okay, that is fucking ridiculous. This is the problem. Like, I feel like sometimes in certain American soaps, the way that they handle things is way too damn soft. And there's a word that I'm sitting there thinking what Thomas says, and it's beyond a brat, and I can't think of it right now. Why do you want Michael and Willow back together? Because there's true love there, Jonathan. There's true love there. And they all what's good, Cherry Ice Cream? How you doing tonight? That's good, Latasha. because there's true love there. No, Darby. Listen, they can work that out. They've both made mistakes, and I think it'd be both in their interest to sit there and work it out for each other, for the kids. You know, there's a reason why Michael and Willow fell in love. Yeah, there's a lot of pain and everything like that, but yeah, exactly. But listen, give them something new, give them something. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been through a lot. That definitely is going to sit there and increase. It was good, Alicia. Just straight up said no, not even a hi first. Okay, that's cool. Um, yeah, they were born. They were absolutely born. I was leading that charge, but they've been through so much now. I think that kind of makes their interest level even better now. Or like I was saying, for the kids and everything like that. I think that's just be a really great idea. I think it'd just be a really great idea, Jonathan. I truly do. I truly do think that. I truly do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, but listen, they can work past that. You know what I'm saying? Like when there's love and passion. Hi, Alicia, how you doing tonight? But okay, so you don't think that they should be back together? Okay, why don't you think they should be back together? Susan says it would be a good idea if Willow was an attempted murderess. Oh, if it wasn't for if it wasn't for her being an attempted murderess, okay, I got you. Yeah, Alicia, if you wanna, where's your energy? Um, right here. What do you mean? Where's my energy, Jonathan? Not you too. Oh, if she, yeah, it'd be a good idea if she wasn't an attempted murderess. Yeah, but exactly. It's like thank you, Darby. Like, where's the love at? Where's the forgiveness? Like, follow you, follow you. Like, there was a reason why they got together, why they got in love. I mean, yeah, it was kind of for the wrong reasons, but they made it work, and I really do believe that they can make it work again. I truly do. Yeah. And that's the thing, Jonathan. I'm a huge believer in love. Huge believer in love. Whoa. Okay. See, like I said with Darby, um, DC has been a very bad influence on him. Okay. So if Willow told Michael that she shot Drew and why she did it, Michael would understand her reason. I mean, I think with some time, some understanding, you know, um, some time, some understanding, some real talk, I think they can really get past it. When it comes to his love, I mean, you can get past anything. Truly believe in that, Jonathan. Yes, there's times I could be very doom and gloom, and I enjoy it, but then there's times I can sit there and you know. Now, again, um, I feel like there's no creativity when it comes to his days with this whole Kristen. Because here's the thing, I wouldn't mind if Somebody else decided they want to kill Johnny for whatever odd reason. But to sit there and set it up where you're telling a story and you got to sit there and be like, oh, how about if Aunt Kristen was the one that killed Johnny? You mean her own nephew? Yeah. What the like? Rafe and Chad thought Abigail was in the two-way till they find out. Is that and that was another thing that happened, right? Like for him to sit there and just accuse him of Broski put out my entire government name. He threw out my entire government name. Nah, I think that what you call it. I think DC has been a bad influence on you. And don't worry, Darby. I'll make sure to sit there and tell DC not to talk to you because I don't want him filling up your head with all sorts of whatever stuff that's going on with him. All right, I got you. Nah, bro. I don't. I'm skeptical about it. I don't think if Michael still feels that way about Willow after all the time that happened. I personally don't give a shit about Theo. Like I don't. Wow, fuck was that? Oh yeah, no, everything's all right now. Dolomedics was good. Oh, thank you, Ron. I didn't realize that was my full name. You know, everything's all right now. Holy shit! Fuck. Whew. That was something. Okay, we are good now. I'm doing good, Dolomedics. Listen, um, DC has been a very bad influence on this man named Darby. Um, I. Here's the thing. I didn't care that much about Theo before, and then after the way he was snipped there treating Jada, I just kind of really started to dislike him. Like to be honest, I generally dislike him. Oh, I had to deal with a mutant moth. Yeah, it was just a huge moth, and I took care of it in a very violent way. Okay, Ron, I'm pretty sure he'll love to hear you say that. Um. Anyway, oh, of course, Darby. Not about that. I'm talking about him being a bad influence on you. You're definitely optimistic about Mike and Willow. Optimism is a nice change. Yeah, it's it's different. It's different. Frankie's an idiot. I saw Monday's episode where she her drunk ass made that other guy crash the car, And also, listen, I think that was kind of a PSA in a sense because Broski in the other car in the other vehicle was not wearing a seatbelt. And when he flew out the window, I sat there was like, oh shit. I'm pretty sure it's what you call it. But it's okay, darling. It's okay. It's okay. Listen, I get it. You know, when it comes towards love, you're not an optimist. It's okay. I can be optimistic for the both of us. And I truly do believe that Michael and Willow would be much better off being together. Well, see, that's the thing, though, right, Dumbass? Because aren't they characters from an old show that got canceled? I think it was called Seaside, something like that, right? Get back to work. Oh, don't worry, Darby. I will. I'm just very optimistic about this. Very optimistic about the whole Michael and Willow. They need to get back together, and I stand 10 goddamn toes down on it. You know, my whole thing, and again, Jonathan, if you're still in the chat, my whole thing about Sophia being on the show is that again, they have not done well. Actually, I think the woman is a kid that was brought back, but I don't think they are. Oh, Brookside. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I thought they were. Though, it's just sometimes when they start doing things like that, I'm just like, I don't know these characters. And they seem like it'd be a whole bunch of other characters, like doing an entirely different show. But I don't think so. I don't think that hell needs to freeze over, Freddie. I think that people need to be accepting, understanding, be patient, and open to the possibility of love. That's what I really think. They were bringing in a lot of Brookside characters. I just sat there. I was like, I just remember after I finished watching it, that's what I truly believe, Cherry. Oh, okay. You know, I also sat there when I was watching. I was like, wow, you can just let the character just ride off into the sunset. Could listen, you know me. I'm not a huge fan of Frankie, except for how she looks. But like, I was like, you can just send the girl off on sunset and everything like that. I was like, no, 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 no. You have to have her act like a dumbass and and cause her to have the car crash and like wow, okay. You know, I actually told you, Dolmex, when I saw that, I was like, maybe Dolmex actually has a point there. No, Freddie. I mean, listen, Freddie, if you want, I can go back to being the um pessimistic asshole that I'm usually known for. Trust me, it's not hard to switch. But I just think in this case that Michael and Willow, they here's the thing, they deserve their second chance. Okay? And I really do hope that they get it together. I'm being serious, Cherry. You see people in this chat that's like, what is going on? Bill Max says, I told you no one gets a happy ending in Hollyoaks. What's good, Jay Blue? Here's the thing. I do look forward to watching the rest of the episodes. I knew Hollyoaks was twisted when they had chick make up with her dad and then drop dead on the Wow. Wow. Damn. Okay, Dominic, shit. J Blue says, I just arrived and heard the end of your speech about being open to the possibilities of love. I didn't expect that from you, Albert. You work for Hallmark. I'm being honest. I am being honest. Listen, that's the thing, J Blue. You know? Listen, I have my times so I can be a cynic, which is a lot of times actually. That's the thing, J Blue. I'm a huge believer in love and true love. Um, you know, and that's just Freddie. Aren't you okay, Freddie? Aren't you a true believer in love? Hmm? Aren't you a true believer in love, Freddie? Yeah, exactly. Just I think they need to get past the hurt and the anger. They both made mistakes. They both did each other dirty. They both cheated on each other. I think for hey, thank you, Cherry. A hopeless romantic. Thank you, Cherry. I appreciate you saying that. That's exactly what I am. One second, Jonathan. Ron says if you went to a festival of friends, are you you serious? Okay, if you went to a festival with friends and someone died during the group you were with, would you go home and post it? No, no, I wouldn't do that. That's insane. There are two other soul characters that I believe should have another chance for each other. I'm not going to mention them because I don't believe anyone will feel the same way. Well, the hell would okay? First of all, fuck what anyone else thinks. What do you think? Why don't you sit there and say it? Thank you, Ron. I appreciate your ringing endorsement. I don't think anything is too much. When you can learn to sit there and forgive Freddie and let the past go and just and embrace the love. Jay Blue says a hopeless romantic, the same guy who isn't. And that's the thing. You're right. You're absolutely right, Jay Blue. You're right. That's it. That's not something like. I think you just have to open up yourself again to that. Giving up is sad on yourself. You're depriving somebody else of being with you. No, Darby. The question is, who are you? And don't worry, Darby. When before I go to sleep, I'm gonna sit there and text DC and tell him that he has been a bad influence on you, and it's just to keep his whole wicked weirdness, like just to make sure. I want you out. Domac says, "I'm what you out. Willow and Michael needs to get back together because let's keep hookers don't last long around Michael anyway." I mean, that's true. Last one was Abby, who was a stripper, but she's not a hooker. But I get what you're saying, though. Ron, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. And and Pan says Michael probably couldn't stomach it, knowing that she slept with Drew. No, if he loves her, if he loves her enough, thank you, Darby, sex worker. If he loves her enough, which I think he does, he will get past it. He will get past that, and Willow will get past Michael sleeping with Sasha, which is, again, it is amazing how people will sit there and focus on Willow cheating on Michael with Drew, but they won't sit there and say how Michael cheated on Willow with Sasha. Like I really do find that shit fucking amazing, right? And it all comes down to Eagle. Honestly, to tell you the truth, Eagle, he's still playing chance. He's still playing chance from the Young and Restless. Like I said, Chad doesn't have any sort of discernible personality features that makes him stand out. So it's more of like whoever is playing him, you know? And he's playing chance. Now if Kristen actually intended to have Johnny killed and she caught, she would also be on the outs with Lonnie because Johnny is her stepbrother. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they are two different people. I just, I look at the portrayal though. I mean, I get that, and I get that. I feel like at the end of the day, regardless of here's the thing, regardless of the situation, they both cheated, right? They both stepped out on their marriage. Yeah, she did this, she did it longer, but he still cheated as well, and no one brings that up. No one fucking brings it up. Everyone sits there and gives Michael a pass, and I'm not doing it. I didn't do it from day one when it happened, and I ain't doing it now because I actually think that that's actually crazy. I feel the same way. That's what I'm saying. Chad is only about as interesting as the woman he is with at the time. He only as interesting as, well, you could be right. Kristen is a terrible person. There's no turning back if she gets Sophia to R.I.P. Johnny, but I have a feeling Chanel's going to be in the crossfire in the crossfire, yeah. For me, Albert, I would choose Sasha over Willow any day. At least Sasha is stable and also Jacinda is stable. That's cool. No, 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 no. They need to get back together. No, no, absolutely. No, no, they need to get back together. They do. But for true love and the kids and just letting go of that pain and back and forth with each other, Why is Xander bothering to see us shrink if he has no intentions of being better? Doc should have gave up on him. His no answer was his answer. That's true. Also, the fact of the matter is, Xander is being a scumbag, which is using Gwen. Like, I mean, I get it. They're using each other, but like, it just. I knew they were gonna do that dumb shit, and I'm personally not here for it. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't particularly care. Yep, Grayson did get stabbed. Um, I personally don't really like Gwen that much, but at the same time, I'm just like, she doesn't deserve that. They both said they weren't right for each other, Willow and Michael. That's true. I don't know what the hell Kate was Smith they're thinking, but to be fair, again, I'm just those are just some characters that I seriously do not give two flying fucks about. But like, back to Gwen. Gwen doesn't deserve that. Gwen doesn't deserve that. Um, I get that, Freddie. I do. But at the end of the day, like again, okay, so here's the thing. I will sit there and say this much because I feel like this is basically just giving the Michael a pass. And we're not gonna do. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna give Michael a pass. Um, Freddie. At the end of the day, there may be a lot of differences between Michael and Willow as far as cheating, right? Accountability, this, that, and the third. 1 second, Jonathan. Accountability, this, that, and the third. I personally don't care. That's just me. For me, they both cheated. They both, honestly, to tell you the truth, for me, they're getting the same treatment. I'm not giving Michael a pass because he took accountability for his actions. That's like me sitting there saying, well, listen, I committed a crime, but, I told myself, and it was a really violent crime, but I was remorseful and I told myself, no, you still did it. You think you're going to get brownie points because you was accountable for what you did? No, you still did it. You still stepped outside your marriage. You still cheated on her. Yes, we all know Willow's a bad person. Blah 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 blah. I don't like Willow. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Still cheated. He still cheated. I'm ready for Kristen to go on Wine Up full time and all the other useless characters to hit the door. Yeah, can we start with Leo? I didn't hear anything about her leaving. No, I'm not. I'm not saying. I'm not. I'm not saying you are Freddie. I'm saying that like you think Glenn will find a way to move back into the mansion. I mean, yeah. I don't know what way. I don't. I don't even know what I would really matter, honestly. But I mean, she could if she finds out what's going on with EJ and she blackmails him into moving back to the mansion. It's not even just creepy. But Sean, who makes you think Christina's leaving? This is my whole thing with Leo. This is my whole thing with Leo. He is irritating. You ever notice whenever he starts talking, he always starts rambling. They start putting on the jokey joke music, and it's like, do you have an off button? Like you ask him a question or you ask him something, and he'll just start going off into a wild fucking tangent. And you're just like, okay, Leo, we didn't need all that. Oh, okay, like we didn't need all that. That's my thing with Leo. And here's the thing. I guess this is supposed to be funny or whatever, but like it just doesn't work. And it hasn't worked. And let's be honest, the only reason why he's still there is for representation. Which I'm just like, okay, cool, but can we get a character that's fucking likable? That's not annoying? They try to put in this level of like humor and it doesn't work. And it's never worked. And the only thing it does is just makes me roll my fucking eyes every time that he's on. Because they start off, and you know the music that they start off with every single goddamn time. Like the whole trivia night, he kept sitting there doing that. Roman would sit there and start with a question. Leah would start just going off on a tangent. You're just like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, you're just being mad awkward for like no reason. What's good, Big Nate? Paul was a more interesting character on days. Yeah. And unfortunately, we got to sit there and we're stuck with Leo. So, they were okay. I would sit there and say, fuck Diane on The Young and the Restless. RJ, it's it's so bad. RJ, um, first of all, when they when they when the other actor left, or when they got rid of the other actor, they brought the RJ character back and they completely revamped him, made him this Nepo baby that was entitled, um, arrogant, Oh, the Spencer's this and the Spencer's that, and he's a Spencer. Bro, you never really seemed like you're really interested in that war, and now you're like, you gotta get rid of him because he's a Spencer, and it's like, I will sit there and say I'm so glad that Will's like, well, technically you're not a Forrester, you're a Maroney. Since you want to sit there and keep boasting about, oh well, Forrester is the last name that's in this door, and this is my family's name. It's like, well, technically your family is Maroney, so let's not. No, there was no Matt Clark today. He is coming this week though. He is coming this week. I'm guessing probably either tomorrow or Friday. I would not be surprised if we don't see him Friday though. It just seems like he's so out of touch. Like Dylan was like, have you ever had to sit there and eat out the garbage? And he was like, well, things have been hard for me too. Fucking Nepo. I was like, this is the reason why people don't like Nepo babies. Like, she's not there talking about her struggle. She doesn't want to be caught up in a drama or anything like that. Like, good, I can avoid YNR today. Yeah. Yes, I will sit there and see you on Friday, Sean. You have a great night. Thank you for coming through. All friends, Albert, Will, and RJ. Yeah, I think they're cousins, so. Ivy was insufferable. 1 second, Freddie. Ivy was insufferable. But she, like, topped it off, though, today. Like, I mean, she was, like, fucking peak. Domex says B&B does that with their male characters. They reset them every time they get a new phase. You should have seen all the different Thomases. Wow. What's good, Danny? Ron, if I have time to sit there and do it, which I generally don't, I'll listen to them. But, like, I'm glad you mentioned them. I just don't have a lot of time to watch a lot of other YouTubers. I'm usually too busy sitting there doing my own videos and stuff to sit there and watch other people's stuff. So I don't know why they're trying to put the blame on someone for Curtis and Jordan's car crash when it was their fault. Y'all shouldn't have been sexually active with each other while driving. Yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna have to sit there and deal with that for a long time because Curtis is just gonna keep whining about it. Um, it's unfortunate, but the sad thing is not as insufferable as Ivy. Ivy was peak today. Ivy was like, "Oh well, Electra shouldn't have to sit there and deal with somebody who's beneath her." And both Ridge and Brooke just sat there and looked at her like beneath her, and she had to sit there and readjust. I was like, "Girl, what the fuck is wrong with you?" Ridge is like, listen, this is a place of business. This is a place of work. Ivy just keeps yammering on and yammering on and yammering on. And I guess this is supposed to be funny or cute or some shit when she says, it's not proper, I tell you. It's not proper at all. I'm like, I just want to bite in my fucking lips so goddamn hard sometimes when I'm watching. I'm just like, um, my issue with Ivy. Ivy was sitting there talking about how, she wanted better for Electra than how she handled men. Girl, that's your trauma. You need to sit there and work that out with a therapist. Don't trauma dump on Electra because you can handle your own shit. Who's a chick with the see-through yellow dress on days? Um, see-through yellow dress on days. I don't even remember a see-through yellow dress on days. Days? I mean, there's Cat, but I don't think that she had on a dress though. Oh, Lonnie. Lonnie. Yeah, Lonnie. Yeah, that's what you're talking about, Lonnie. Yeah. What's good, Kaiwan? Yeah, it took me a second. Ivy talks like Electra's her daughter and not her niece. Yeah, and she kept since trying to say like, oh well, I have this like this instinct, this motherly instinct. I was like, the truth of the matter is, if Ivy actually valued herself, she wouldn't be in some of the shitty situations that she was in, and she would actually have gotten married and had a daughter and had a damn daughter instead of you trying to fill a hole in your life by using Electra as your surrogate daughter and trauma dumping on her because you couldn't deal with your own issues. Yeah, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. Um, 1 second. I will definitely answer your question. 1 second, Danny. Well, see, that's the thing though, right, Freddie? Freddie, okay, so like here's the thing. Nina's the type of person that like it doesn't matter what their child do, their child will bully other people, she will make excuses. Remember when the other chick played Phyllis and Charlotte was bullying Aiden? And she literally sat there and said, "Well, sometimes it's not bad to sit there and bully people. Like sometimes a little bullying can do some good." And literally try to make us and literally try to victim blame Aiden like, oh, well, Aiden's being soft or whatever because of her mom, because of his mom. So she's that type of person. She's that type of person. What's your opinion about Twitch? Twitch is not for everyone, to be honest, Danny. Like, it's very hard for you to sit there and try to get any sort of success because they don't recommend your channels to other people like YouTube does. So, like, I personally wouldn't fuck with Twitch. I watch it because there's people that I know that's on Twitch that I watch it for them, but like, I wouldn't personally try to. What's good, Sean? I wouldn't personally sit there and try to like do anything on Twitch because like it's not like YouTube where they recommend your channel more. Twitch don't do that. Twitch, you have to come in with your own audience. They don't really support the little guys in a sense. Okay, Sean, that's hilarious. Do you think that Kate is still upset with how Marina and Roman? I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, she can be kind of petty. Latasha says Ivy and RJ are the ones that need to be fired from Foster. Here's the thing. 1 second, Freddie. Here's the thing. RJ did RJ did back down from trying to get Dylan fired because she literally had to explain for a good 7 minutes about how homeless, about like her struggles with being homeless. Talking about eating out of dumpsters and being scared at night and stuff like that. Like he wanted her to leave, and then he was meant to say, "Well, you could sit there and find another job." Hell, she even sat there and she was like, "Yo, listen, if Spencer gets fired, which would suck, he'll be fine. His family is going to sit there and take care of him." And only after that he backed down from that. But in all reality, also I'm like, Dylan, you do have parents now. You're choosing to live on the streets where you could sit there and be like, you know what, F it. Let me take my tail between my legs or whatever and just go home and suck it up. You know. But you know what Nina did to herself, so I don't feel bad for her, but it couldn't be. But it couldn't be me though. I don't get it. You know what Nina did to herself, so I don't feel bad. Why do you feel bad for Chad on days? Um but he's on days now, so you don't like I don't really get it, Sean, but okay. Nina was great diffusing Willow about taking Michael to court. Sitwell wouldn't have like that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, it was you know it's really crazy though. Nina was actually defending Jacinda, like, yo, listen, she may be a pain in the ass to work with, but she's not gonna do anything to hurt the kids. I'm like, you know, when you got Nina Smith there defending Jacinda, you know you fucked up. Oh, okay. Thank you, Freddie. Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. I'm like, you know that you fucked up. You know that you fucked up. I don't think well, Freddie doesn't watch B&B, Annie. So I don't think he's really a fan of it because he doesn't watch the show. So that's what I'll sit there and say about that. But and then there's well, fuck it, since I know most people are talking about what you call it. You know, here's the thing, Jay Black. Part of me would be like, that'd be kind of crazy if she. No, no, enough, Reggie. That's what I was telling Danny. Um, Part of me would be like, that's crazy. Like she just dodged a murder rap. I don't feel like she would want to sit there and try to do another one. But at the same time, she also, you know, kidnapped and drugged Drew. So, you know, well, yeah, he's going to be annoying. It was good, Lady V. He's going to be annoying. Um, but here's the thing, though, Allison. Why did Dante tell Curtis all that information? Okay, like police detectives generally don't do that because you know that person may decide they want to sit there and get street justice. So I don't understand why. I remember that, Ron. I remember that. I was I was there. I remember that. I didn't sit there and say it wasn't possible, Ron. I'm just sitting there thinking like, um, I said that she could still be mad. I don't know why you're bringing that up, Ron. I remember that episode. Um, yeah, police detectives generally don't sit there and give out. Yeah, police detectives generally don't get out that type of information because I'm just like, you know, they may sit there and take the law into their own hands, and that's exactly what Curtis isn't doing that, but he's already sitting there thinking Isaiah did it. I'll say this episode to see if Liz figured out Drew's thinking. Well, it wasn't today's episode. I can tell you that much, Jade Bloom. Liz wasn't in the episode. So she may be in the episode tomorrow or Friday, but she wasn't in the episode today. That's what I would sit there and say. Dante works for the PCP is so typical of that department be sloppy. I'm just like, I just remember when you said that, and I'm just like, wow, really? But yeah, Chase is not helping himself out. I I feel like I feel like Brooklyn is going to sit there and say something, even though, listen, if you didn't sit there and say anything that night, then it's already passed, and you should sit there and listen to Tracy. Um, I feel like they're gonna I feel like they're gonna sit there and blow this whole. Um, they're gonna probably blow this whole, you know, car crash out of proportion in a sense. Like in all reality, she didn't cause the car crash. It wasn't her fault that she caused the car crash. So listen, it sounds harsh, but honestly, to tell you the truth, she didn't have to stop. What's good, cat lady? My gorgeous queen. She didn't have to stop. She did not have to sit there and stop to help Curtis and Jordan. Ideally, yes. So if you want to sit there and no, at the end of the day, she didn't have to sit there and stop. Ron, I want her to have a successful pregnancy. I don't need to see Mike and Willow together on GH until Willow pays for what she's done. Hey, Money Mac. I personally think that Michael and Willow need to get back together. Okay? The love is there, the feelings is there. You know, Danny says, I'll be honest, but I stopped watching Beyond the Gates because the story and their show is not too great. Yeah, that seems about right. She didn't think she hit anyone. Exactly, and at the end of the day, even if they did, here's the thing, even if she did sit there and see it, she didn't have to stop. Like she didn't actually have to stop. The love is not there. Take off. No, the J Blue. The love is okay. The love between Michael and Willow is still there. It's still there. And I honestly think if they really just stop and slow down, stop blaming each other and everything like that, that they can work it out and they can be even stronger than they were before. After he's free, okay? So Sean, you want Drew to go back to being a dick once he's free? Okay, yeah, that's what I honestly think. That's just the reason why I feel that Michael and Willow they need to get back together. Okay? They need to get back together for each other to let go of all that pain and anger, and for the kids. Cat lady, you stop it. Don't you start with that nonsense. Maybe Sean. maybe Sean, just a good time, you know. Yes, that's true, Allison. That's true. But all of that will end when she kind of realized that, you know, she needs to sit there and get past it. She needs to sit there and remember the love and why she loved Michael. And hey, listen, they made mistakes, but love always sits there and conquers all. So they'll work that out. Yes, no, and that's very true, Jay Blue. That's very true. And yes, it did start off like that, but I believe the love was there after a while. Yeah, that might have been the initial reason why they got together. But she did love Michael. Michael did love her. You know, Callie, do you stop it? No, Freddie. Just like I said, Freddie. I'm a true believer in love. I'm a true believer in love, and what the f are you saying, Callie? You really think I'm watching? I'm being, Jay Blue, I'm being serious. I'm being serious. Why are you doubting my Why are you doubting my sincerity, Jay Blue? Okay, I'm being honestly serious. Just don't understand it. Fine, you're streaming. Try to surprise me. I know, but I thought about that for a long time though. Time. I've never seen this study before. Well, that's the thing, Jay Blue. We have many different sides to us. Um, Humans are very complicated and complex, and it's just one of my many sides. I mean, Jay Blue, like I said, I can always sit there and be a dick and rude, and it was good, Tiffany. And there's times I like to sit there and just say things to piss people off because it makes me feel happy and I laugh about it. This is not one of them, though. That's right, Tiffany. Beyond the Gates got a whole nother what you call it. Actually, cat lady, I wasn't drinking anything. I've been drinking this. Right. J Blue Darby has had DC has been a very bad influence to Darby. So Tiffany, let me get this straight. Beyond the Gate should have been canceled because you don't like it. I mean, listen, it's not exactly my favorite show, but actually, it's not though. Actually, no, it's not. You don't see all the bubbles and the fizz and everything like that. Like, what are you looking at? Where's your glasses at? Alistair says, "Why is DC a bad?" Because DC likes to troll. He likes to sit there and say things just to get a reaction, and he's always doing that. So I feel like Darby kind of he's somebody who gets easily influenced. Yeah, but no, no, actually I don't. No, I don't. Surprisingly, I didn't drink anything tonight. Oh no, you fine, Allison. You fine. Nah. I'm surprised. Listen, usually I'll be drinking like all the time, but like, I was to tell you, Cat Lady, and Cat Lady was all like, "Oh, you drink every time, you drink in every stream." So I'm like, "Okay, I'm not drinking in this stream." And so, why do you think Michael and Willow should get back together? Because they still love each other. Underneath all that anger, that animosity, and everything like that, they still love each other. I think it'd be good for them. I think it'd be good for the kids. Um, really show them that like true love prevails. Nah, I don't know anything about no moonshine. No clone. It was good, CK. Yeah, Kyrie's always like, oh, you be drinking in all the streams, you be drinking every stream. I'm like, I didn't exactly, and that's the thing. I didn't drink last Friday, and I didn't drink last Wednesday. So, but no. Okay, Ron, I'll make sure I do that. Well, I mean, Tiffany, every soap opera has a different energy. So, Beyond the Gates, they got their whole thing going on. Um, Getting back for the kids isn't a reason to get back together. Kids pick up on things. I mean, that's true. But I'm saying, like, I think that Michael and Willow are lying to each other. You know, I truly believe that they do love each other. Um, no, actually, no. And I was to tell you the truth, Kelly, that was only like one time. Um, no, I'm not drinking tonight because I don't drink every night. That's all. I only casually drink. No, but I think listen, Michael and Willow are lying to each other. They really do love each other, and I think that's I think they just need to sit there and face their feelings and be unapologetic about it. You know, love prevails. That's what I'm a huge believer in. Right? He said we're going to drink less. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, on the weekend, yeah, no, on the weekend, I drink on the weekends. Um, I just didn't feel, that's not true. Those kids need to get anyway. Listen, Cat Lady is going to sit there and be Helga tonight. And if you don't know who Helga is, if you ever watch Hey Arnold, that's who Helga is. So, so Ron, is every Albert on the planet like family or something? Exactly. I'm a huge believer in love, Freddie. You just gotta believe, man. What do you think? Who do you? Okay, I think Willow will be going to Franklin if she gets called because I mean I do think that she does need to deal with the trauma, but I'm loving this Willow villain era. I will sit there and say that much. F Fel feelings. Oh, like I said, I'm a very complex person, Darby. Like I said, I truly believe it. So I think that's best for everyone. Now, again, I see that I see that's your non-tolerance. I see that you're non-tolerant. Non-tolerant to what? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that, Latasha. I don't know what that means, but anyway, listen. I totally understand why Rick don't. I mean, listen. Rick calling somebody sus is laughable, but like at the same time, like I get why he doesn't trust Ethan. Oh, yes, woman who cheat. Oh yeah. Oh, that's absolutely true, Cherry. That's a good question, Jay Blue. I totally forgot that Sitwell did sit there and try to kill Holly. But you're absolutely right, Jerry. See, that's the thing, though, right? Both of them cheated. It was good, Black Purple. Mike and Willow get back together. Absolutely not. They're done. Never in any lifetime, especially not this one. He never forgave her for anything she's done. Deliberately, she's no victim. What was good, Black Purple? Oh, that means you didn't watch any of my reviews saying you didn't see that evening. No, I did. I did. What are you talking? No, I totally did. And that's not. I've seen a lot of your reviews, not all of them. I did sit there and see a lot of your review stuff. Yeah, but it's good, Black Purple. It's good to have you here tonight. Island. Is that a reality show? Callie, you stop it. Yeah, Black Purple. Like I was not there telling people who didn't believe me, didn't believe me for some reason. Okay, I might not have seen that particular review, but I was watching your review stuff. You're tired. You're tired for your live stream. Caught me off guard. Was oh the Land Before Time. Okay, thank you, Time. You know the thing is, Black Purple. I truly believe that Michael and Willow love each other. Okay, I think there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of anger on both sides. I do believe that they can move past that. I think they can be stronger together. I think it'll be good for them. I think it'd be good for the kids that Michael and Willow get back together. That's what needs. Hell, you stop it. That's what needs. That's what needs to happen. That's what needs to happen. Seriously. Who's DLs? You want to go to who's last night? Who's DL? Oh wow. I don't know. Lonely list is a no. No, I do CK. Good. DC did a what you call it? Seriously, Terry, I'm a huge believer in love. DC Self Sanctuary. Self Sanctuary. DC didn't do a live stream last night. If you're talking about DC Soap Sanctuary, oh, JoJo Media. I was like, who the fuck? I was like, who? Okay, that's yeah. There's a Leo on Days and GH Autonomous on B&B, and Days also have the same character's name for different shows. When some saying Chloe, I go to Y&R. When some people say Charlotte, people think of GH, but there is a Charlotte on Days of Our Lives. Oh, Charlotte. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, to each his own, Freddie. To each his own. I just, I look at that. I'm like, but I respect your opinion, Freddie. If Willow wasn't so evil, but she finally admitted she was just using Michael because she wanted to be a mother. She's now 2.0. Michael is done with that, and I mean that's like she called descendant. Yes, and that's the thing, Black people. I was not there saying yes. It started off with her wanting to be with Michael to be a mother, but I do believe that it blossomed into something else. I believe that it grew into something more than just you know beyond just being Wiley's mom, and there was love there. There was genuine feelings there, and I feel like those feelings didn't go away. It might have started off as one thing, just like Tracy and Luke. It started off with Luke wanted to con Tracy, but then he fell in love with her, and I feel that's the same thing. So, love is there, people. Love is there. Get past all that anger and hurt. Be adults about it. Connections there, people. Now stand by that. Stand by that 10 toes down. And I don't know, Freddie. I'm a little crazy. Maybe you should. Maybe you should do a social experiment. What kind of social experiment? Like I said, B&B was walling. B&B been walling. Um, yeah, like I said, they turned RJ into an unlikable prick. Electra is just a dumbass. I should have just texted you. Who the fuck writes a letter? We're in 2026 and you wrote a letter. You thought that maybe another intern or somebody else or the fucking wind, um, or the fucking wind didn't sit there and just blow it away or something. Like, I don't understand that show. I mean, it's literally like B&B just went off the fucking rails. Like, seriously. I don't know if anybody even watched Beyond the Gates, so I'm not going to talk about it if no one watched it. Ivy's mad because she ain't got a man. She got rejected by Liam. I think she wants RJ for herself. Yeah, she keeps like to talking about RJ in this way where it's like, hell, I'm pretty sure um somebody said to her to like, yo, listen, if you like RJ so much, why don't you get with him? So Freddie, you basically snip there saying if the mom is crazy or the mom is bad, then the kid is automatically going to be bad and terrible. Like seriously, there's a character on Beyond the Gates named Leslie, and basically you're snip there saying it's like, oh well, Leslie's bad and she's a shitty person, so automatically Eva is also a bad and a shitty person. Judging someone on their parents, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's. I mean, no offense. I just think that's just kind of a shitty way to sit there and judge somebody because of their parents. You know, and that's kind of one of the stories. Like you have this chick named Eileen coming at Eva because her mom is a piece of shit. I was like, yeah, okay, cool, but why don't you sit there and get to know Eva before you just assume like, oh well, if the parent is bad, then that means that the kid is bad too. Like that's a very closed-minded way of sitting there looking at somebody and judging them, and not even bothering to get to know them. I don't really understand how. uh, okay, Freddie, but what I don't understand, you're basically sitting there saying because the mom is crazy, then that means that the kid is going to be crazy too. You're judging the kids on the parents issues. I mean, you're dressing it up in a different way, but it still comes down to like basically Smith is saying, well, if the mom is bad, that means the kid is going to be bad too. I went on Friday. I'm starting days again because Joy is back. I still think you should watch B&B. I mean, I get that, CK, but like again, that doesn't mean that the kids are going to be crazy or the kids are going to be bad. I feel like it's kind of an unfair thing to sit there and look at the kids and start prejudging them because of you know of their mom and their grandmother. Like, let's see how the kids turn out before we start labeling them and judging them. She didn't wake up yet. She moved her hand. That was about it. Spider quick. Pentonville. I don't remember her actually being in Pentonville though. Also, Freddie says Albert now and Willow are literally living proof if you can call it judgment or you want, but I call it like I see that. I'm gonna let it go. Um, we're gonna agree to disagree. Um, yeah, yeah. Let's just move past that. What are you talking about, Darby? What about Kristen, Sophie, EJ, and Johnny? Anything with them so far? Um, Kristen is still planning on using Sophia to kill Johnny. And nothing's going with EJ yet. Nothing's going with EJ yet. But yeah, no, I'm gonna let that go because yeah, I personally think that it's out of pocket to sit there and prejudge someone based off of their parents. If the kids do turn out like that, then that's that. But to prejudge them based off their parents, I feel like that's. Who do you think was the creepy voice that called Dylan? Was Luna, Ivory, or a mystery person? If they did some crazy shit like, because listen, they practically killed Luna off screen, but they said that they had a body and everything like that. So I guess I'll just go with a mystery person. What does that have to do with the kids, Freddie? What does that have to do with the kids? You keep sitting there making this argument. Like I feel like it's kind of the same argument that you're making though. Allison said that's like saying DNA controls everything and no one is responsible for their own actions. Again, I feel like again it puts me in the whole like Eileen Smith is saying, well, Eva's bad because her mother's bad. And I'm like, you don't know Eva. How about you get a chance to get to know Eva before? Yeah, exactly, J Boo. That's why I'm just like, he keeps Smith there trying to essentially give the same argument about it. And I'm like, let's see how the kids turn out. And you're being one of those people that is going to essentially judge the kids off of their parents. And I feel like it's out of pocket, honestly. And I don't feel like you're being fair to the kids, you know. But listen, if that's how Freddie wants to sit there and say it, that's. Do you think Ashley saved Grayson and Dan? Oh, Ren don't play games. Jacob and Smitty better be careful. Jacob getting that ass whooping was hilarious. I just don't think that like they're gonna kill off Grayson. Whether Ashley saves him or not. Um, It's not an argument, by the way. That was crazy. Okay. What does that have to do with the kids? You keep sitting there saying, well, no, okay, so your thing is, Freddie says, when someone shows you who they are, truly are believes, it's not an argument, by the way. No, it was crazy. Carly suffered being in an institution because of it. But what does that have to do with the kids, though? Again, you keep saying what Nell did, what Willow did. What about the kids? I had a cousin that didn't get a fair shake in school because the teacher judged her based on her sister's behavior in class. That's no offense, Freddie, but that's exactly what Freddie's doing. And I'm like, you're basically saying, well, the kids are going to be bad because Nell was bad and Willow was bad. And the whole yes, what they did, but that has nothing to do with the kids though. That's my whole thing. Now I hope and I believe and hope Wiley will turn out fine. I think it's just about a product of your environment. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're raised by shitty people to do shitty things, then you're gonna probably turn out like a shitty person. But like I don't like we don't sit there and see like We don't sit there and see Willow being like, oh, well, I think you need to sit there and do some bad shit in class. And I think you need to sit there and start bullying people and stuff like that. So, like, that's why that whole argument of what he's saying doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it doesn't really, like, work in a sense or whatever. She grew up in the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Her and Nathan grew up in luxury, waiting for nothing, private schools and French speaking classes, horse riding. Madeline wasn't a good mother. No, actually, I had chili, but I think it's actually kind of cold now. Though I'm being honest with everyone saying is 100% in the right for wanting to send her away from. I'm being honest with everyone. Willow is 100% in the right for wanting to send her away from her kids. The senders blanked Drew and was a ex hooker. Well, she wasn't an ex hooker. She was an escort. I don't understand. I'm gonna get to you in a second, Spider Quake. It doesn't have anything to do with the kids, but I'm just saying Nell chose to be bad. She could turn her life around, but it didn't start with parents. Okay, I'm a yeah, exactly, Darby. But that's my whole. I feel like we're just getting away from that whole thing. But yeah, Darby says, Ava Jerome is a crappy person. Yeah, Ava Jerome is a crappy person. That um that doesn't mean that doesn't mean Avery's going to turn out to be a crappy person just because her mom is crappy. Yeah, that's listen, that's fine with me. I know it's your opinion. It's your opinion. I'll sit there and say that. But you know, it's really funny. Okay, so here's my whole thing. I need to get away from that whole other thing. Well, let me. I'm gonna go back to this one first. Um, from wanting to send her away from the kids, to send her drug Drew. Yeah, Willow also drug Drew. So, like, what are you talking about? You sit there saying, well, Jacinda is a terrible person because she drugged Drew. Yeah, so did Willow, and she's continuing to sit there and drug him. And to sit there and say she was an ex hooker, it's like there's nobody like Google is your friend. I don't understand how people get those two damn things confused. Well, yeah, and Freddie, I understand that, right? But what I don't understand, Freddie, is how are you translating that to the kids? You, Freddie, the whole conversation got started because you basically said that Wiley and Amelia are going to be crazy because her mom was crazy, because her mom and Nell were crazy. And that was the whole thing. Just because the parents were crazy or whatever doesn't necessarily mean that the kids are going to be crazy. So this isn't about like whether I think Nell is a bad person or whatever. But regardless, if Willow's a bad person, that doesn't mean that the kids are going to be bad. And because she got paid for sex. Yeah, I mean, I get that part, but like, Google is people's friends, you know. However, that's not the point. I'm saying Willow correct for saying she's doing. I'm pointing out no one complained when Michael made Drew stay away from cheating, and no, and that's the thing. And here's the thing, and I agree with that. Heather Weber is crazy, but Steve isn't. Yes, that I agreed with. That I agreed with Spider Quake. Um, that is 100% correct. That's why I sat there and said, you know what, Willow isn't wrong. Willow isn't wrong for because you know what it comes down to. It's about being comfortable, and this is what happens when you are dating somebody and y'all both share kids. Regardless if you think the reason is stupid or you don't like the reason or whatever, Drew was um well then Freddie, yeah, then then we totally missed okay, then we totally missed the whole mark with each other. Um but no, like Michael was uncomfortable with Willow bringing the kids around Drew because Drew's an asshole, right? So we understood why Michael had an issue with Drew being around the kids. But Willow also has every right to sit there and be upset, um, and uncomfortable with the sender being around the kids, regardless if we think that's right or wrong. So yes, on that level, yes, I do agree with you on that. Yeah, no, now I understand. Willow has no right to say anything. Given her criminal record, she says, I think Remy is the mystery voice over the phone. It's hard for me to sit there and believe that because like he like dodged a bullet like multiple times. Like he got out of jail for the whole harassing whatever, and he has been sitting there trying to turn his life around so this way he can get back together with Deke. So him doing that would just seem like what the fuck. Now Black Panther said right message, wrong messenger about Jacinda as far as I'm concerned. Willa has no right to say anything given her criminal histories. Anything she says with me simply falls on deaf ears. Exactly, Allison. And Johnson says Willa may be a criminal, but she's technically doesn't have a record. And that's the thing. See, this is this is a thing. Like this comes down to feelings, right? As Allison pointed out, yes, she has every right to sit there and be concerned, like Spiderquake said. Those are also her kids, and she has a right to sit there and say something if she feels uncomfortable. Now, yeah, we can all sit there and say, well, Jacinda's a better person than Drew. It doesn't really matter. Like it doesn't matter. So yeah, I do agree with Spiderquake, except for the whole hooker part. I don't really understand. Yeah. And again, regardless, like I think people are just forgetting, like, yo, listen, those are also her kids too, right? Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, it was rough to sit there and watch Willow tear down Jacinda because of her past, but hey, listen, those are her kids. She got a right to sit there and speak out, regardless if people don't like her or not. That's just it is what it is, you know. But I get it. It's just show that deals with emotions and everything. So people are gonna just choose to dismiss Willow's concerns and her feelings, regardless how valid they are, because they don't like her. So I get it. I get it. CK said both Mike and Willow have a right to say who can be a part of their children's life. She has her opinions, but Michael also has a right to date whoever he chooses. Yeah, that's the thing. You're correct. Morley and Willow. Yeah. So all of it is true. All of it is true. But yeah, Freddie, we were totally on like the wrong. Maybe I read your comment wrong. Maybe I read your comment wrong because I was like, bro, I'm standing on 10 toes down on this show. Apparently, I was standing 10 toes down on something that you didn't even sit there and say. Like I said, this show definitely does make you definitely does bring out emotions. Um, because before Drew, yes, you have a great night, Jay Blue. Thank you for coming through. I definitely appreciate you. Because before Drew manipulated Wiley, Michael made him stay away since his feelings got hurt, and the fans sided with that. But when an escort, a gold digger, that's fine. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But yeah, no, 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 no. Yes, have a good night, Jay Blue. Like I said, definitely, I want Michael and Willow to get back together. That needs to happen. Frank Valentine, if you are watching this, you need to stop what you're doing and you need to put Michael and Willow back together ASAP. Okay? This shit needs to happen like next week, next Friday. I think that'd be a really good cliffhanger. Who do you think is the person calling Dylan today? That's funny. I think it could be just a mystery person. I think it'd just be a mystery person because unless they decide to bring back Luna, which I would not put that past B&B. Um, Darby said, Darby said, what you call it? Darby said Remy. I'm like, Remy been seen to seem like he's been on the straight and narrow to sit there and do something like that. So I think it's a mystery person. But my thing is, what are they doing with Remy? Deke was like, hey, when he came in the restaurant, he was like, I need time. He was like, I need space and time. And Remy was like, well, how much time? Dude hasn't been on the show in like over like a month. Like, nah, Freddie, I am being honest. Well, I agree with Willow with having Jason stay with me because I do believe when people can change. So I think they should make a truth, and if Jacinda steps out of line, they deal with it. Yeah, Freddie, I'm just a believer in true love. right? And here's the thing: you seem like a very nice person, so like, I don't understand, like, why you don't believe in true love? Like, I mean, you know, see, they're getting Remy and Deke ready for facts, facts, Dolometics, facts, facts. It is coming up. It is coming up. I'll be so. I'm not gonna lie, Dolometics. If that shit happens, I'm gonna sit there and give you your props on that. Because the thing is, Dolometics, it'll be funny, but at the same time, it wouldn't be funny. Like that's the sad part. I know the game B&B. Don't fool me. They disappear by the end of July again. And that's the thing though. Like it's funny, but it's not funny at the same time. So where's the loving spirit, Freddie? I mean, come on. Where's the forgiveness? But Allison, hate is just the flip side of love. Hate and love is the same is the same. Two sides of the same coin. That's a good question. Because I mean, listen, this is the problem with them having her as a villain in a sense, right? Just soda. Just Sprite. Good old American Sprite, Freddie. That's a good question, though. I guess that's probably the problem with yeah, I drank a lot of soda, Miss Smartass. I mean, my queen cat lady. That's the problem with them having Taylor. That's the problem with them have. I mean, that's the problem with them having what you call it, Sheila as a villain in a sense. Like I'm telling you, if Carter and Daphne have a kid next February, I'm gonna laugh so hard. That lady is so bad. How you feeling about Ethan? Because he's definitely hiding something. I just don't think he wants to take Sunny down. I think he wants to take down Sitwell. I think Sitwell had a kid, and is I think Ethan had a kid, and is one Brooklyn has. Okay, I don't understand the last part. Ethan had a kid, and I think it's the same one Brooklyn has. Oh, so you think Sonny and Carly should be out? No, no, they are way too toxic. That ship has sailed. Carly, you stop it. It's just good old American Sprite, baby. No, Freddie. I'm just a true believer in love. Everlasting love, Freddie. It's just what it comes down to. Oh, okay, okay. Thank you, Gomez. Okay, okay. All right, now, okay, all right. You be cool with that, CK? Yeah, Cat Lady's something else. She's a trip. I love her, but she's a trip though. Yes, yeah. Why not? Listen, they've been together since high school, off and on. I think Belle needs to then get over herself. Personally, I never liked the fact that Belle didn't want to get back together with Sean because of what he did. I'm like, Belle, you cheated multiple goddamn times with Philip. Like, you really need to get off your damn high horse. Black Purple says Sunny and Curly are way too toxic, but not Mike and Willow. I agree to disagree. Hard. Curly and Sunny are beautiful together. Always has been. Always will be. Michael and Willow equal toxic. I'm sorry. I love how. Okay. I love how she says Sunny and Carly are too toxic, but not Willow and Michael. Agree to disagree hard. Just remember the hard part in there. I like that. I like that, Black Purple. You got style, Black Purple. You got style. Yeah. Yes, Michael, and how can I, Tiffany? Michael and Willow are a perfect match for each other. I said that from day one. I did. I said it from day one. Go back and watch my reviews. I said it from day one. I was like, yo, listen, I don't do that whole couple shit, that whole romance crap, but like those two, Michael and Willow, no. Now they're the real deal. Okay. I was like, Willow, first of all, you need to sit there and dump that chump named Chase and get together with Michael. Hey, he likes a little. Oh shit, hold on. I'm not going to disrespect your opinion or anything. I just don't see Mike and Willow that way. They always felt forced and contrived. She only went at him for while. I respect y'all, Black Purple. I respect that. Listen, at the end of the day, Black Purple, this is all for fun, man. This is all for fun. I don't really sit there and take it that seriously like that. Like it's just fun. So you're good. I disagree. Or you disagree with me, or you disagree with Black Purple, or you agree with Black Purple and you disagree with me. I don't really understand that. And no, sir, what? No, sir, what, cat lady? Who's that? Jonathan. Yeah, that seems about right. If you agree with it, do you think Stephanie will dump? I've EJ and Gwen. Okay, that's a good question. That's a good question. Um, okay, I don't know if she would I don't know if she would necessarily break up with him, but I do feel like when Joy comes back into the picture and she has that bait, which by the way, thank you, Darby, for mentioning this. I feel like it was Jeremy. I feel like Jeremy is going to be the one that's going to call Joy back to Salem. Um, because here's the thing, we know that Joy is coming back to Salem. We know Joy is coming back to Salem. Um, and I do remember them. I do remember a scene where he was on the phone with where he was on the phone with somebody. Um, so yeah, I think it was he's gonna get in contact with Joy. Nikki, love Nikki, and just from back in the day, you know, Cynthia Watros. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that chick was bad back in the day. I mean, you know, but yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Allison, is Nikki really a stripper? She was a stripper. She was a stripper, Allison, back in the day. Victor met her at a strip club in some sort of bayous or bio or whatever. But yeah, Nikki Watcher was really pretty back in the day. Aged well over the years. Yeah, no, she listen. The Cynthia Watches is still Cynthia Watches could still get it. Let me put it that way. Like Craig says, even if Jeremy brings her back, does she know she had a baby? Does he know he? Well, they did talk about it. They did sit there and talk about it, and she did. Stephanie did sit there and say, like, there was a point where she thought that Alex was going to be Joy's baby daddy, but you know, she said that she wasn't pregnant. But I think that Jeremy might have thought so. That's a good question. I don't know. He does. He does. He does. He does hate Nikki. I mean, don't get me wrong, Allison. I don't. I mean, Grant. I don't hate Nikki, but I do understand. Like, I do understand why he doesn't like Nikki so much. But I don't know. I have a feeling like Jeremy is bringing her back. I don't. You know. I think he might guess. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really say. What do you think of Chanel's reaction to Johnny's schedule? I thought it was over. I thought she overreacted. Don't get me wrong, Jonathan. I thought that I understood that she was annoyed, right? But I feel like she does tend to overreact a lot, and her being all nasty to Johnny, and Johnny just take. She didn't even apologize towards the end when they actually went through that whole stuff. You know, that's my point. Does anyone know she lied and she did have the baby, and does he know that Alex is the father? That's a good question. Oh, thank you, Jonathan, for that. Um, that's a good question. You're correct. CK said, true, Albert. Nikki was a stripper. Victor really turned her life around. She told Claire all about it when Claire asked her about their relationship. Yeah. Jordan's going through it. She's going through it, you know. She's lashing out. She lashed out at Isaiah. She's lashing out at Portia, you know. I mean, I feel bad for her because, regardless that it was her fault, I don't know if anyone's leaving. I don't know why anyone's just saying somebody's leaving GH. Like, I don't know where they're getting that information from. But um, Drew is going to be the same asshole once they do Allison once she gets out of that condition Willow put. And I don't think he's going to have a coming to Jesus moment. There's no redemption for his character. Yeah, but people somehow was able to sit there and redeem Luke Spencer, which just fucking blows me every single time. Um, yeah, through the power of soap magic. Lorenzo Willow was somewhat a sex worker for Shiloh. It's crazy how she throws dirt at Jacinda. Okay, Lorenzo. Like, I don't know. Like I said, that always just like fucking blows me. Like, people will constantly say that Drew's this and Drew's that. When they talk about Luke, they talk like Luke is like this legendary character and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, imagine if we get a cliffhanger Friday on Chase where Willow walks in the living room and finds Drew standing up and saying, "Oh yeah, no, it'd be interesting." Yeah. So like, like I said, I always find it like, you know, um, I always find it to be a trip for people. Like people constantly like, Drew was terrible, Drew was awful. I'm like, yeah, and that was Luke. Like I think it's more of like redemption. People sit there and say certain characters can't be redeemed. I'm like, characters been redeemed all the fucking time. Like, if you watch White Live, fucking Todd was redeemed. Todd, after what he did to Marty Saber, Todd was redeemed. Like, no, not doing that. Like that is yeah. So like, listen, Luke did for the show what the show needed them to do. Um, well, Todd should not have been redeemed. Exactly. So I'm like, we're not gonna sit there and play that game. That's what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna play that game. But people, I'm not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not shitting on the people. I'm not trying to crap on the people that like Luke. Like you can like who you want to like. Um, but like I said, I always just find it interesting. How people come at like Drew and stuff. Well, yeah, Freddie. I didn't think that you would. Like, I didn't think that you would. I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone with a brain and a conscience would. So, um, I just Freddie. Like I said, sometimes I go on like Twitter or whatever, and I see people like, "Oh my God, I love Luke and Laura. I want to have a romance just like Luke, just like Laura with Luke." And I'm like, "Are you sure about that?" Sean Redemption fans liked him, liked him into Redemption, but the character never believed he was redeemed. Good. Like, listen, One Life to Live was my fucking show, though. Lorenzo. One Life to Live was my damn show. All right. I keep avoiding. Exactly. Now he's Matt Clark, aka, fucking Todd. That's correct. That's correct, Crystal. Lorenzo said my favorite show too. I used to fucking love One Life to Live. Um, That was the first show that got me into soap operas was One Like Love, you know. Todd and Colin and Asa, of course. Like Asa was Asa was just fucking awesome. Uh, Luke is a rapist. Like there's no redemption in that. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, Black Purple, and this, it's just me. I feel like there's levels to this. Like there's levels in the stuff that you do that's bad. You know, Luke did what he did. I feel like that's probably the worst. I feel like that's the worst thing that you can sit there and do to any human being. Oh yeah, they both had a wicked sense of humor, Jonathan. They both had a wicked sense of humor. Uh, I can see that. I can see that, Lorenzo. Oh, absolutely, absolutely, Freddie. Listen, I love to sit there and bring that shit up because when John was good, Shakira. Um, when John brought that up, I'm like, hey, listen, I like Sonny, but like what he did was wrong and foul on so many levels. And some of the Sonny fans try to ignore it. They try to act like, oh well, I still love Sonny. I'm like, you can love Sonny, but don't sit there and try to pretend that like that shit didn't happen. CK says, and what's good, Shakira? I love when like that face was hilarious. He called Blair. She devil act. Yep. Yeah, I get that, but I guess for me personally, like even if you sat there and you put Willow and Drew as bad, Luke should still be worse. Luke should still be worse. People can sit there and dislike Drew and Willow, and that's great, but you got to put Luke there first. You gotta put Luke there first. You know, I mean, listen, I am not a person that's like, oh, you gotta love this character or hate this character, but you're not gonna sit there and try to act like, you know, out of the three of them, Luke is the worser of them. Yeah, exactly, Black Purple. Yeah. Shakira says Willow is a dangerous chick. Yeah, and she's fun to watch, though. She is. But all right. Unfortunately, I do actually have to work in the morning, so I'm gonna end the stream here. Um, Sucks, but it is what it is. I will be back on Friday, and we'll have a great time. So thank you, Black Purple, for coming through. Thank you, Lorenzo. Let's sit there and welcome Lorenzo into the chat. By the way, sorry I didn't do that when you first got here. You as well, Black Purple, and again, thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Have a good night, Allison. Have a good night, Lorenzo. Have a good night, CK. Have a good night, my gorgeous Queen Cat Lady. Have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Spiderquake. Have a good night, Dolomedics. Have a good night, Blackmon. Have a good night, Cherry Ice Cream. Have a good night, Shakira. Black Purple says sure anything about Mike and Willow getting back together will attract. I appreciate you being here nonetheless, Black Purple. So thank you for coming through. Thank you, Lorenzo. I do appreciate that. And welcome to the stream. I'll be back on Friday, so hopefully I'll see you then. And thank you for coming through, Cherry Ice Cream. Johnson says join us next time for another edition of Soap Chat with Albert Bostic. Good night, everyone. Hit the like button. Yes, hit that like button. It does help. Seriously does help. So thank you. Have a nice Spider Quake. Thank you for coming through as always. Appreciate you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Cherry. Thank you, Black Purple. So appreciate having you here, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you, Freddie. It was great to sit there and see you again. You have a great night, and hopefully I'll sit there and see you on Friday. Have a good night, Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ. So thank you, everyone, and yeah, I'll sit there and see y'all on Friday. Laters.